Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. Well, here we are today with a new CinemaSins video. Of course, as mentioned last time, this came from you guys' suggestions. So that's what we're talking about today. Last video, I said if you got that video up to 3 likes, I would do another CinemaSins video. And you guys surpassed that, giving me 4 likes, which is a huge W for the channel. And you guys surpassed that, giving me 4 likes, which is a huge win for the channel. As promised, as of last video, I said I would be doing your guys' suggestion. Whatever movies you wanted me to pick on CinemaSins for, you would pick what the next video would be about. And I got really nice entries. The first one came from us905, it's not 945, sorry, who wanted me to do Top Gun Maverick. And sadly, this did not win. And even if it did win, I probably couldn't do this video, as CinemaSins have not done a video on Top Gun Maverick, meaning I was kind of backed into a corner. I was saved, however, by George Kainwa, who told me to do The Mask, and it seems someone else liked that idea as well, because they liked it too. So that's what we're going to be doing today, The Mask. Again, guys, I really do appreciate the fact that you leave comments like this. Please leave more comments, and maybe I'll make a video out of them in the future. Do not lose hope. Anyways, I want to give a shout out to the people who did leave comments and who, bothered to at least give me some entries, and hopefully we can have another video where the audience chooses what the video is in the future. This is Everything Wrong With CinemaSins, The Mask.
Of nickels. I love how handsome Jim Carrey in a nice suit with a good job is somehow a loser with women.
Same could be said about 99% of movies where we have the loser underdog who eventually gets the girl. Do you really think they would hire unattractive people to be in their movies? Because if that's the case, I'd be as big a movie star as Ewan McGregor.
Is going to be the perfect night on the town.
Say what you will about this movie, but don't say it takes its time. We're still rolling opening credits, and they've already established the main character's plight and planned an event that will no doubt kick the film's events into motion. That's efficient! One sin for efficiency!
And how is that a sin of the movie? A story that's able to lay its foundation early makes for great pacing and storytelling. Stories like that should be respected, not sinned on.
Stand back and observe.
Now we've introduced the love interest, and we're still in the opening credits. This movie wins the prize for not f***ing around.
So why are you sinning it?
Is recording this footage supposed to be helpful in some way? All this really does is provide the location of the vault. Sure, Freeze later claims to have gotten some details about motion detectors, but I doubt he got that from this grainy-ass footage. Either way, this seems hardly worth the possibility of getting caught with this comically large camera. And I know this was just the reality of technology back then, but technology back then was pretty damn comical.
You just answered your own question. Why are you sinning the movie for telling you information you want by saying it's something else when that's clearly not the case? The movie didn't even suggest that it's something else, so you're just pulling this out of thin air.
Guys get chided for being too loud, but they also have a goddamn beer on the playing surface.
What does that have to do with them being too loud? You just said two completely unrelated things, mushed them together, called it a sin, and then called it a day. So you know what? Plus 2 sins for that.
That's correct, Wendy. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking.
Well, damn, you got me thinking. There's been a lot of arguing about being pro-masks, anti-masks.
I'ma stop you right there. Skip?
I don't know everything, but I do know that this is a terrible book cover design.
I don't know about you, but I think it's a great design. It's simple, straight to the point, and it's ambiguous enough to make more than just one group of people pick it up, thus increasing its chances of popularity. You should know this, considering you yourself are a book writer. Hey yo, go check out my stories on Wattpad though.
Is he able to just conjure shit out of thin air like Green Lantern? He's got a new costume, a sandwich board, and colored spotlights. It's like the genie from Aladdin came to life in the real world, but nobody ever explained his powers or limitations.
Yes, that's the point. And the joke, you numbskull.
These are the same, 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 these are the same. This one is unique. This one is unique and relevant to the story, but at this point, why?
Tell me, what loses sight from you and gigachads such as a Canadian lad actually slow down or pause the movie in theaters or at home to read the damn newspaper? Tell me, Jeremy, when you watched this movie in cinemas in 1994, did you pause down the movie in the cinema just so you could read the newspaper? Yeah, I don't think so.
A white blouse, a green jacket.
Did he just call that a green jacket?
Well, it is a shade of green, greenish gray to be precise, but tomato tomato.
Wasting time.
This sequence was literally only a minute long, and I hate this scene so much because 5 minutes ago you were complaining about how fast this movie moved. Hypocrite plus 2 sins.
Service worth waiting for is a terrible slogan for a power company. And yes, this is a movie, so it might be a gag, but nope, this is the van the club-running crime guy is using for surveillance. So the criminals put an obvious fake slogan on their spy van, and that is worth a sin.
Gee, Jeremy, do you think that maybe none of the criminals ever worked for a power company or had stand-up jobs? It's almost as if criminals become criminals because they can't be stand-up citizens.
Saying he went from literally a tornado running around the city in the last scene to showing up in the world's longest limousine in this scene. So, is he God? Am I allowed to question anything he does? Is he omnipotent?
To answer your questions, no, he is not God. He simply hired a limo to shop in style. I don't know how hiring a limo can give you the powers of the universe, but you do you. 2. No, whenever the mask is on someone, all logic should be thrown out the window. No questions asked. And 3, no, he's not omnipotent. Otherwise, if he were, he wouldn't need to rob the bank and there wouldn't be a plot for this movie to follow.
He says, let's rock this joint, then spins the drummer, who then has a different outfit on and is enthusiastic about playing the masked guy's song, and once again, is he God? So far.
You watched the movie. You know that the mask gives the wearer the powers of Loki, the god of mischief. So plus 2 sins for being intentionally dumb. Actually, you want to make it worse? Let's add 2 extra sins. This is a sin for the movie and for you for not catching it. But if the mask can conjure up any object at once, why didn't he just make his own money instead of stealing from the bank? So that's a sin for the movie for not explaining that, and a sin for you for missing out on it instead of complaining about whether or not he's God. So 2 sins. Also, this is a slight tangent, not on you CinemaSins, so you're fine for this one, but this is a slight tangent on the movie. Stanley works at the bank, right? So his fingerprints will be all over the place. So how would the police know that he's the one who stole the money if more often than not he's probably been to the vault? Either he doesn't go to the vault a lot and the movie didn't bother to explain it because I just missed it because I'm dumb, or he does go to the vault a lot and seeing as he works at the bank, his fingerprints would be all over the place. I do feel the movie would have benefited if it just explained to us a bit about Stanley's position at the bank and whether or not he actually does touch the vault and whether or not his fingerprints can be dismissed from the scene of the crime. Again, just a slight tangent, but it's nothing that breaks the movie.
A kiss made her shoes fly off her feet? Seriously, just make this a cartoon. What the f*** are we even doing here, people?
That's the joke, Jeremy. The whole point of the mask is that he's a cartoon character in real life. This is actually one of the rare instances where a movie works better in live action instead of animation. Oh no, did I just say that? What have I become?
Now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
This protracted death goes on for some time, and it's not even worth it a little bit.
Sinning this scene, that's worth 2 sins.
You know, you weren't putting up much of a fight with that freak show last night when he tried to kiss you.
Yeah, that was all her fault.
Dorian still kinda has a point though. She didn't fight back.
This police lady starts singing without the ability to control it, meaning the mask is doing it. So again, why is there any conflict in this movie whatsoever? The whole thing is just him being confronted with an apparent obstacle, doing a skip, then using superpowers to get out of the jam. Repeat. Jesus.
Remove the superpower statement and you just have Jeremy describing CinemaSins.
Better be here, Ipkiss.
I'm confused. The bad guy was going to kill Ipkiss by having him drop into the printing press. Then he asks about the mask and puts it on. Then he says the police are looking for the mask, so we'll give them the mask. And then we cut to his thugs robbing Ipkiss's house? Did you cut too many scenes here or what? There was no talk of robbing him at all. Maybe there was a scene where he begged for his life by offering them the money from the bank heist, but it got cut? I'm confused.
Yeah, no wonder you're confused. Maybe if you bothered paying attention to the movie instead of needlessly sinning it, you could follow what's happening. Obviously, Stanley's wanted by the police, so Dorian knew that by giving them Ipkiss, he could get them off his back and walk away scot-free. And since the bad guys knew that Stanley is the mask, they knew he must have hid the money somewhere, that's why they robbed him and threatened him since he doesn't have powers anymore. So plus 2 sins for me having to hold your hand and do your job for you, Jeremy.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Also, Stanley answers with, instead of the truth, which is that Dorian tied him up, planted evidence on him, and threw him from a moving vehicle, which is actually pretty plausible at this point.
Why would they believe him? They already have enough evidence to lock him off. If he told them the truth, they would just think he's lying to get himself out of a jam.
Stanley puts this piece of toilet paper on the front of the seat, instead of the back of the seat, which is clearly exposed.
Okay, that's a valid sin. 1 sin off.
Don't you have respect for law and order?
She's asking the guy who came in shooting and literally murdered a bunch of people 30 seconds ago. He decidedly does not have a sense of law and order.
Hey, Jeremy, I know your 2-year-old brain can't comprehend this, so let me just spell it out for you. That's the joke!
Officers, arrest those men! say that.
Sure, but why are they listening to you?
They are not. They're just doing their job, as you can clearly see. Oh wait, I forgot. You're both blind and deaf.
Pow.
And so the sin tally comes up to 25 sins. And the sentence is unmask yourself and admit you're crap at your job. Anyways guys, this is the last CinemaSins video I'm going to be making. Thank you so very much for commenting. Do it again. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. With that, I've been Captain Phoenix and I will see you in another universe.